Comments did not sit well with President Trump. Mr. Trump's senior policy advisor spoke with CNN's Jake Tapper about the book and Bannon, and it didn't exactly go well. Here's a look.
So President Trump and the White House have been calling the Russia investigation a witch hunt and a nothing burger. But obviously in this new Michael Wolff book, Fire and Fury, Bannon offered a different take on the Trump Tower meeting between Donald Trump Jr., Jared Kushner, Paul Manafort, and these other officials, including a Russian lawyer. He called it treasonous and unpatriotic. And he said that, quote, the chance that Don Jr. did not walk these Jamos up to his father's office on the 26th floor is zero. Did President Trump meet with any of the so-called Jamos who were in that Trump Tower meeting?
Steve Bannon's eloquence in that description notwithstanding, it's tragic and unfortunate that Steve would make these grotesque comments so out of touch with reality and obviously so vindictive. And the whole White House staff is deeply disappointed in his comments, which were grotesque. And with respect to the Trump Tower meeting that he's talking about, he wasn't even there when this went down. So he's not really a remotely credible source on any of it. It reads like an angry, vindictive person spouting off to a highly discreditable author. The book is best understood as a work of very poorly written fiction. And I also will say that the author is a garbage author of a garbage book. You were at the campaign during that Trump Tower meeting, I believe, right, in the summer of 2016. Just to answer the question, because you were there and Steve Bannon was not, did any of those people from that meeting meet with President Trump? As Bannon says, the chance that he didn't, Don Jr. didn't walk these Jamos up to his father's office on the 26th floor is zero. Can you just settle that for us? Did President Trump meet with any of the people? I have no knowledge of anything to do with that meeting.
Okay.
But what I can tell you unequivocally is that the allegations and insinuations in this book, which are a pure work of fiction, are nothing but a pile of trash through and through. Let's dig in, though, to your comment about, well, he was also the president's chief strategist. So one of the other tragedies of this grotesque work of fiction is its portrayal of the president. The reality is the president is a political genius who won against a field of 17 incredibly talented people, who took down the Bush dynasty, who took down the Clinton dynasty, who took down the entire media complex with its 90% negative coverage, took down billions of dollars in special interest donations. And he did it all through the people and through his strategy and his vision.
So let's talk about this.
His insight and his experience.
According to the New York Times, special counsel Robert Mueller has in his possession an early draft of a letter that you helped write in May 2017 detailing reasons to fire FBI Director James Comey. According to the newspaper, the first line of the letter mentions the Russia investigation. Did you write a letter outlining reasons to fire Comey and list the Russia investigation? Is that true?
Here's the problem with what you're saying. The final draft of the letter, the one that was
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the one that Comey has that mentions Russia.
If you want to have an answer to your question and not to get hysterical, then I'll answer it. The final draft of the letter has the same line about the fact that there is a Trump-Russia investigation that this has nothing to do with.
So it was just moved from the top to the bottom?
No. It said, no, look at the letter. It's the beginning. The investigation is referenced in the beginning of the final letter that was released to point out about the fact that notwithstanding having been informed that there's no investigation, that the move that is happening is completely unrelated to that. So it was a disclaimer. It appeared in the final version of the letter that was made public. Jake,
the president and the White House.
The reason why I want to talk about
the president and the White House.
The reason why I want to talk about the president's experiences, what I've seen with him traveling to meet dozens of foreign leaders, with his incredible work.
Okay, you're not answering the questions.
No,
I understand.
You have 24 hours a day of anti-Trump material. You're not going to give 3 minutes for the American people to hear the real experience of Donald Trump.
There's one viewer that you care about right now, and you're being obsequious. You're being a factotum in order to please him. Okay.
No.
And I think I've wasted enough of my viewers' time.
You know who I care about?
Well, the president was watching and responded on Twitter.
Yeah, Mr. Trump seems not to be a fan of Jake Tapper. No surprise there. This is what he tweeted. Jake Tapper of fake news CNN just got destroyed in his interview with Stephen Miller of the Trump administration. Watch the hatred and unfairness of this CNN flunky. As Jake pointed out, that was for just one viewer, and that viewer was certainly watching.
CNN Newsroom pushes on. The UK's Parliament gets back to work after New Year's break.
A look at the challenges facing Prime Minister Theresa May. That's still to come. Do stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. Well, in London, the British Parliament is getting back to work after the New Year's break.
The Prime Minister Theresa May has a frantic schedule ahead. She's facing a health service crisis and also has to tackle the ongoing Brexit negotiations. And today she is set to reshuffle her cabinet. For more, let's bring in Bianca Nobilo joining us live from number 10. It's good to have you with us this hour. Let's talk about this. First of all, what prompted